chasing me around, but I never get caught in the games you play, so just quit. It's over. The text, the calls, and bullshit you thought of was the reason I left your ass crying alone. You never ever ever leave me alone, girl. You need someone, you need someone. You never ever ever leave me alone, girl. You need someone to be someone. You never ever ever leave me alone, girl. You need someone, you need someone. You never ever ever leave me alone, girl. You need someone to be someone. So maybe you wanna go, come get a piece of me. You wanna go, you're gonna be mad at me. You wanna show, won't be too long before this motherfucking jerk stops bringing it on. You never ever ever leave me alone, girl. You need someone, you need someone. You never ever ever leave me alone, girl. You need someone to be someone. You never ever ever leave me alone, girl. You need
I think that I'm back. Hopefully the live stream will not just shut itself down again. Oh well. Anyway, what were we talking about? What were we talking about? Right, we were talking about AI, right? And there are many good uses for AI. Should we resume the talk, or should we just skip it? Because I have my own thoughts on it, and I know AI is a controversial, well, topic, but it's not like we're doing like stuff much differently than what we did before, you know? And there are a lot of bad apples or people that use AI for profit, like Gen AI for profit, and I think that's wrong. I don't think people should do that, but it should be used as a tool to help help make your life easier. I think that's completely fine. So anyway, those are my thoughts, my overall thoughts. So let's just like go check something else. What were we checking? So you guys want me to watch the Saint one? But I don't really want to watch the Saint one. Let's check this one. The dumbest drama ever.
Why is Amith pregnant with a monkey?
Dumbest drama ever. And my... Oh god, the fuck am I looking at? The fuck am I looking at? What the hell is that? It's working? Yeah, apparently.
Why is Amith pregnant with a monkey? Solong's not from South Korea?
Oh god, speaking of AI, bro. Oh my god.
Alright, what are we doing? This is getting ridiculous. Is this Cyrene? No way she's doing a corn
What is going on? What's up, Lapis?
What the fuck is wrong with
What?
you? What the fuck is what's wrong with society?
What is going
July
on?
8, 2026. Wuthering Waves reveal to the world their new character PV. Naturally, gamers are very supportive and excited for this character to come out.
What is
As
this
a matter
Sol
of
on
fact,
Lee, bro?
They were so excited that they accused Wuthering Wave of stealing voice line from Genshin Impact. Alright, I tracked down the original source on Bilibili.
When was this post? 2 days ago. Okay.
Let's just see how bad this actually is.
听屏风的指引，听屏风引，受风解意，
Uh-huh.
随风而去，随风而去吧，踏风，
大风。
So that's it?
Wait, that's it? These people are so unemployed, like who cares?
Is the
Bro, does this guy get these images from and gifs? Like, what the hell is going on?
Please let the wind guide you. A Genshin Impact invention. Having a stroke of inspiration is normal, but having 3 similar voice lines is not.
I mean, there's so many voices and voice lines and phrases in Genshin Impact. It's literally impossible to say something and not have something similar in Genshin. There's so many characters, so many voice lines. There's only so much a wind character can say.
Holy shit, this guy cracked the code. Wow,
Got a
how come
wind-based
I never
character.
thought about that? 3 similar phrase equals plagiarism. Here's the original PV from Wuthering Waves, and I'm sure gamers are just having a civilized debate in the comment section. For example,
right.
there's a picture of Shorekeeper's dismembered head on a metal pike underneath the
What?
gamers are just having a
Did I
civilized
hear that
debate
right?
in the comment section. For example, there's a picture of Shorekeeper's dismembered head on a metal pike underneath the spoiler tag. Let's take a look. You thought I was gonna show it, didn't you?
I don't think you can show that on YouTube.
What are you, crazy? This is YouTube. Some of these posts are just
Yeah.
so bizarre. I
Okay, this one is funny as fuck, bro. No, not the shark people.
What are you, crazy?
This one.
This is YouTube. Some of these posts are just so
What the fuck? Okay, this one is funny.
bizarre. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Like,
What
what
the
the
hell?
fuck is going on with the Shorekeeper? And it makes you wonder how these guys are just walking among us. And I say guys, but it's probably more
Mm-hmm.
like brain rot Gen Z kids who are online 24/7.
True.
Okay, this has to be Shizzle post.
Chicken means hoe. Oh, I mean, she kinda is a hoe. So
What can this guy possibly be saying? Hey Grok, what is the slang for chicken in Chinese?
In
prostitute.
Mandarin, G is a slang term for a prostitute or sex worker. This is quite widespread and can be derogatory.
So,
Mm-hmm.
they are saying that Ameth is
I mean,
a chicken because she's a prostitute? I see, got it. Wow, this cultural exchange is just so fascinating. At this point, the idea of getting
I don't think that serves any purpose on this like conversation. Like, they are complaining that Yang has 3 similar voice lines to Genshin, and just calling Amiath a prostitute because of this. Like, that makes no sense. It's the chair.
cooked is absolute everywhere on the site.
At wait, what? Is that a real like ad? There's no way. At least you're comfortable.
You have Luke stealing your girls. They're
The dog. Yamiat is a hoe, but because of the lines. I mean, she just looks like a hoe. But it makes no sense to like call her a hoe because Yang has similar voice lines to get. Like, it makes the controversy makes no sense. Like, the images have nothing to do with the original controversy, you know? And the original controversy is dumb to begin with. Like, 3 similar lines, so what?
There are monkeys cucking your girls. Foreign CCs are stealing your waifus. Even
Oh god.
Scaramouche decided that he wanted to play the game. Jesus fucking Christ, like what is happening? Imagine going to watch a video on your
Imagine
favorite character
Skara stealing your wife.
and the first thing that you see is 2 sides arguing in the comment section over who's getting cucked for God knows what reason.
What the hell? What the hell is even this? I don't know. People just beefing in the comments. saying who's the biggest cuck.
This is crazy! How is this even allowed to be posted? There's no way anyone who comes up with these images are okay in the head. I've heard a lot of dumbass shit during my short time on the internet, but
Damn, these thumbnails are crazy.
images are okay in the head. I've heard a lot
Easy sentence. What are these thumbnails? Clapping to lizard cheeks? Gunner game? Who has the most Rule 34?
of dumbass shit during my short time on the internet, but I've never seen someone waking up
Nani?
one day and the first thing that comes into their mind is how to generate a meth, giving the ahigao face in front of 4 black Koreans. Like, how does one even get this idea? I don't know where these Koreans are spawning in to cuck all the girls, but I'm not taking any advice from people who
It's Radiant Shogun? Really?
probably should be on a different site fulfilling their fantasies. Naturally, players from Wuthering Waves didn't fall for the rage bait. They just laughed at how stupid it was, logged off, and called it a day.
You thought? You thought the Kurobots would take that? They went one step ahead.
Did you really think that's what happened?
Back
What are you,
online, yeah.
tourists? People here are mentally ill, attacking and defending games like their lives depend on it. They went to other Hoyo pages on Bilibili
Went
and
share
did the exact
ahead.
same thing.
Well, turning the traveler into a dog is not as funny as Rover. Just because Kurobots are also known as Kuro dogs or just dogs. I think they could have come up with something funnier. Turn it into, I don't know.
50,000 comments in this HSR video. Oh boy, this is gonna be an even bigger shit show. We're about to find some gems in the sea of diarrhea. Oh my god, there's no moderation.
What is this? It looks like a monster from a random ass copy pasta. You know those like under the bed monsters that sometimes show up in reels? I mean, it looks like one of those.
Of course, I'm gonna find some gore images of.
Okay. Everything up until now, okay, I can understand, but gore images, like what the fuck?
Farina getting her head chopped off. I don't know how they're able to post these because you would think that Bilibili
Here to piss off Anfield players. Welcome, welcome.
will have more censorship. If this was posted on YouTube,
In
the
vor?
account would have been banned and thrown out at Mach 5 speed. And I just checked while editing this video, and the messages are literally.
Wait, what is Bro, what are you doing to...
still up.
Oh god, what's her name? What are you doing to...
Like, come on.
How the fuck did I forget her name?
Can we get our act together? Scrolling through this absolute wasteland, I can't help feel but the exact same shit, except the other
What the...
way around. I actually couldn't believe it. Instead of Solon controlling the Kurobots, we have Da Wei brainwashing the Hoyo Shields. Remember the monkeys that were stealing Ameth? Yep, that's here too, except they're cucking Cyrene. What are these people doing? Like, can we get some new materials? There is no imagination.
Are they okay? No, they're not okay. And the thing is, here's the thing. The Chinese are like super okay with AI. Right? And you can see it from here. Like the Chinese don't care about AI. They will use it. And they are putting it to use.
here is just watching unemployed losers getting triggered at each other. I genuinely hope that these are just kids who has too much time, because if these are adults, I think you should take a page from Low Tier God. This guy is saying that they're swarming the ZZZ Norma EP. No way. Don't tell me that they are targeting Zenless too? What the fuck does Zenless do? They didn't do anything. But enough backstory. I went to the
I mean, this comes down to sunk cost fallacy. Like, they have, like, these people, because the majority of the money that these companies make are from China. Like, the Chinese market is huge, and people spend a lot of money on these games. And to put it into context, like, the biggest competitive game is like a random ass Chinese League of Legends ripoff. Like, literally, that's only played on China, and it's the biggest competitive multiplayer game. just to put it into perspective. So these people spend a lot of money, and they don't want other games to be successful. So they find ways to bring those games down. The thing is, most of these ways they try to bring the games down and to make a drama of, it's just fucking retarded. Like, this happened because of 3 voice lines. You know, ZZZ is Epstein's favorite gacha game. Is it? I didn't know about that. The more you know.
Zenless page, and you would think that people here are just jamming to Norma's EP. Surely it's like 2 retards fighting in the comments and nobody.
I mean, but ZZZ doesn't really have like many like young looking characters. I would think it would be more like Blue Archive or something.
Gives a fuck. The real question is, what does this have to do with Zenless Zone Zero? Can the two sides just like, I don't know, fuck off and go somewhere else?
Didn't Billy disable like images in chat? Like in comments because of this?
To just show how absurd this is, I went to the Arknights page.
Or the channels themselves disabled the images.
Complete different company, by the way, and these people are still there, making fun of gacha revenue, or whatever the fuck this is. So I did a quick Google Translate, and it said, I am...
It's the IDF favorite gacha. Okay.
Everyone's toilet.
What?
But surprisingly, the same guy that posted this plays HSR? Like, what? Like, it makes absolutely no sense. This got so bad that all the Hoyo and Kuro Games account limited themselves to only followers who have followed for at least 7 days can comment. Which is ridiculous when all this started because of a few voice lines in a trailer.
Like, literally, like, what happened? Because of, all of this because of 3 voice lines. And we thought that like our drama was crazy. Like Chinese drama is on another level. And I don't even think it's like it doesn't even revolve content creators. It's just the community itself. Like the drama that we have over here is like between CCs most of the time. And like a couple of bad comments that come from like other spaces, but most of the time it's just CC, so it's a little bit more controlled because it's not as many people. But Chinese drama is just crazy. Like, what the fuck is this? Part of a cult? Didn't Genshin Impact actually have like a cult like around it? There was a group of Genshin players, which, well, it's not the entire fan base obviously, but there was a cult of Genshin players that actually went around like harassing everyone. I've made a video about it, like before. I've made a video about it, but I don't remember. It was a while ago. I think it was about a VA that was harassed or something like that. Do not remember. But anyway, that was that. That was that. Let's check something else. Soon chair cult will be formed. I mean, it's already formed. It's already formed. If you participate like in these kind of like tribalistic arguments, like posting or going to official Kuro channels, posting gore of Shorekeeper, you are automatically a cuck. Like, you are a retard. You should be put on a mental asylum. Like, no questions asked. Anyway, that's that. That video was crazy. Member of Virgil chair cult. Okay, that chair is different. That's the aura chair. There's the cup chair and there's the aura chair. Just walked in. Well, my bad, bro. Let's check what this is about. The To Who video. That's your video? I think there's one video of yours here. Want me to watch your video? I was going to watch like the original instead of yours, actually.
Anyways, this
40
video...
minutes long? I'm sorry, bro. I love you, but I'm not watching 40. I'm not reacting to 40 minutes. May watch it off stream. May watch it off stream. Do you have the here? Do you not tag so I could go to his channel? Nigerian perspective. Let me see what. Is it this
Throughout
one?
the past week, there has been intense.
Is it this one? I think it is. You don't edit VODs? You should. You should. It's not hard. Please don't. Why? I don't even know what the video is about. Why every attempt by the new gacha generation to manipulate us has backfired completely. You know, I'm just going to say it, like, at the beginning. Most of the time, when you are convinced that everyone else except one person, or in this case, one company, wants to manipulate her or manipulate you, but that company does not, right? Then the one manipulating you is probably that one company and not the others. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you see everyone else is trying to manipulate you, except that one guy, rest assured that one guy is the one actually manipulating you. And but anyway, let's try to. But I haven't watched the video, so I don't know what he's really going to say. Until the GPU render gets fixed, I'm not rendering anything over 20 minutes in Vegas Pro 22. GPU render? What's wrong with your GPU render? Is it like a drivers thing, or is it a Vegas thing? Who's us? I don't know. The Kurawats? Can't stand listen to his bullshit. Lamau. That's basically an abusive relationship. Trust me, babe. You can only trust me, not your family, not your friends. True.
This conversation surrounding 3 very particular gacha games: Wuthering Waves, Neverness to Everness, and Silver Palace. And as good as these games are individually, whether we're talking about their visuals or their gameplay mechanics, it hasn't been the gameplay experience that's dominated the discussion, no. Instead, the conversation has centered around one of the most controversial and possibly the single most...
Oh yeah. Let's not talk about what matters, which is the actual game. Let's talk about something that would very much be subjective to feelings. Because yes, these people don't talk about these systems as a matter of objectivity. They talk about feelings. For example, it's objectively true that Enfield has better probabilities and gives you more stuff than Wuthering Waves. It's like objectively true. But it feels worse because you cannot pull out all the time and you need to save. So people that have compulsion issues, well, won't really like it because it does feel worse. But these people think feel worse equals bad or objectively bad. So you can't really trust what these people say about these systems because they don't speak with actual objective intent.
The gacha system. I mean, even I have thrown my hat into the conversation, talking about how the Wuthering Waves and Neverness to Everness gacha systems are some of the best I've personally experienced in the gacha space. But when we shift our focus to...
This guy thinks Silver Palace has the worst gacha system in gacha gaming? Pfft. Oh god, that's a statement. Like, what the fuck? I mean, it could be better, but it's basically the same as the feeling bad or feeling good type statement, right? Because the hard PT is 100, right? Hard PT is 100. So on worst case scenario, you're only going to get to 100 pulls, like quite literally. When you compare it to something like Wuwa, on the worst case scenario, you're getting to 155 or 160. So how is Silver Palace worse? You want to know why they think Silver Palace is worse? Because they only think on what if I get lucky? What if I get lucky twice? That's the only thing they think about. What if I get lucky and get a 5-star on my first 10 pull, and then get another 5-star on my second 10 pull? Not realizing that's going to happen probably almost never to most people. Right? They always think, what if I get like, well, why? What if you get lucky in Silver Palace? Right? Because in these gacha systems, you cannot rely on luck. You always have to rely on the guarantees. And the game that gives you more on the guarantee, or the game that has a lower threshold for the guarantee, is always going to be better. Except if the game doesn't give you pulls, like obviously. If the game gives you like 10 pulls a patch, and to get a 5-star you need to do 1,000, then yeah, that's obviously going to be bad. But if we're comparing systems alone, then you have to look at what can you guarantee at certain amount of pulls. I don't know who watched it when streamed it will remember. What? But you will think this video is made by AI? Really?
Silver Palace. So what we've come to realize is that this game is following an ongoing trend that we've been seeing more and more throughout 2026, arguably more than at any other point in the history of the genre. A situation where regardless of
Bro keeps using this shit over and over again. That's the second time he does this screen, and he does the screen the exact same way where it's not placed in like at the same time. It's like it's desynced. Bro, sync it. It looks
situation where regardless
bad.
of how incredible the game itself is. And this is a game that, in my previous video, I called one of the greatest gameplay experiences I've ever had in a gacha game. But even with that, the bulk of the conversation doesn't seem to revolve around the gameplay at all. Rather, what we see the conversation lean so much more towards is the Silver Palace gacha system. The exact same thing we saw with Arknight's Enfield. A conversation so overwhelming that it's hard to deny it's affected the game's momentum, at least to some extent. So the question
No, Saint Ghost is good guy. What? Which Ghost? Yeah, Ghost is good guy. Yeah, Ghost is better than Arul, yes.
The question we're going to answer in this video is a very simple one. Why is there so much controversy surrounding the gacha systems of these games? I mean, yeah.
Why do you think? Because a certain rat like made 60 videos in a month like talking about it. Like, why do you think? And now it's a thing. It was never a thing before a certain individual and certain communities started spamming it all over the place. Like 60 videos talking about it in a month is crazy.
Yes, there is an obvious
like it baffles me how these guys are like, oh, there's so much controversy revolving this like certain feature. Why do you think, dumbass? Like, it's not hard to think back at what happened.
Answer. Gacha players simply want better gacha systems. But even in understanding that, what we've come
Consider Arknight's Enfield gacha to be an IQ check. True.
to realize upon looking at the community's reaction is that there's almost an obsession when it comes to analyzing these systems. I mean, we've reached the point where if a new game's gacha system is even slightly worse than what we had before, even by the smallest margin, that
yeah, here's the thing. It's not if the new gacha system is slightly worse or worse at all, is that if the new gacha system is different. Because people have been so accustomed to getting fucked in the ass by something like Wuwa, ZZZ, Genshin, that they cannot like fathom having a different system. Now, here's the thing. Why is bro saying that we're getting something worse while having Fate Grand Order here? Like, what? Like, Fate Grand Order? Are we joking? There's not a single game in existence that has a worse gacha system than Fate.
that alone is enough for the entire conversation surrounding that game to become centered around just the gacha system. I mean, we saw it with Arknight's Enfield. We're seeing it again with Silver Palace. So how and why has this come to be a thing that we experience in the gacha space? That's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. So if you enjoy this kind of content, so make sure to leave a like. And let me know your thoughts on.
Yeah. Maybe Uma Musume? Uma Musume is horrendous as well. is horrendous as well, but I still think it's better than FGO.
gacha systems in general. I mean, we all understand that they're predatory in nature. That is not up for debate. But why do you think they are
Dragon
more
Ball
and more
Legends? Maybe. I would have to take a look at it. But Japanese gacha games usually have like horrendous gacha systems. Like I say very bad gacha systems. There's not a single Chinese or Korean gacha game that comes close to having as bad of gacha systems as Japanese games. Like, it's impressive, actually.
newer gacha systems that seem to receive so much more criticism than the ones that came before?
Also, Nikkei doesn't have a gacha system that's anywhere similar to like something like ZZZ, and I kid you not, if a gacha game came out right now, a big 3D gacha game that had the same gacha system as Nikkei, which you would need 300 currency to summon, then the heart PD would be at 200 and you wouldn't have a spark for it, right? Hard PD at 200, there's no soft PD and there's no like guarantee. You just get a ticket so that you could buy it on the shop. Like, imagine that on a gacha system, on a new big 3D gacha game. People would go insane. They would look at 200 for a guarantee and they would fucking like, they would probably explode.
Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, and of course don't forget to subscribe if you can persist on any of my future videos. Before we get into it, let's settle on one thing.
The guy keeps saying rap for Arknights and Nikkei. Hey, stop showing Arknight's logo. Lemo.
We can all agree that the gacha systems in these games can indeed be pretty predatory. I mean, that's exactly why top-up sites exist in the first place. Like Enjoy GM, the sponsor of...
Oh god.
Thank you, Enjoy GM, for sponsoring this video, and now let's get into it. See, any conversation about gacha systems is always bound to be an interesting one, mostly because of the contradictory mindsets that these systems create within us, the audience. On one hand,
can you get to the fucking point? Holy shit! How did that get approved? I don't know. But can bro get to the fucking point? Just teasing the borders without shoving it in. Like, shut up and go to the point. Like, holy fuck. You've sent the same thing for 3 minutes straight.
Ask any content creator or regular player of these games what they think about gacha systems, and the very first word that will probably come to mind is predatory. I mean, that's the label this genre has carried for years, and you think that alone would be enough reason for people to avoid games that use these systems altogether, but no. And this is where the contradiction comes in, because on the other hand, what people have also come to understand is that the gacha system has become almost inevitable. And if I were to point to the second biggest reason why people are so critical of gacha systems, it would be exactly that. I mean, yes,
how is it inevitable? Like, the gacha systems are actually running out of fashion. There's more and more games getting rid of the gacha system. Like, what? Shift Up is literally going the AAA route, like the quote-unquote normal game route, for example.
Or where wins meets. Games that in many ways feel like they belong in the gacha space, but have instead chosen to do away with the gacha system entirely, choosing to monetize primarily through cosmetics instead. And really, in the grand scheme of things, that is a very good thing. But what's wrong?
So bro said the gacha system is inevitable, and then is saying that games are choosing to turn away from the gacha system. Wait, what? Did I understand him wrong?
inevitable. And other people to avoid games that use these systems altogether is carried for years. And you think that alone would be enough reason for people to avoid games that use these systems altogether?
Yes.
But no. And this is where the contradiction comes in. Because on the other hand, what people have also come to understand is that the gacha system has become almost inevitable. And if I were to point to the second biggest reason why people are so critical of gacha systems, it would be exactly that. I mean, yes, we have games like Duet Night Abyss or Where Winds Meets. Games that in many ways feel like they belong in the gacha space. But I've been
So, yeah. Yeah. The gacha system is inevitable, but here's like games that are getting rid of the gacha system or moving it somewhere else, like to the cosmetics. And these are not the only two ones that have done this. Like Ananta has moved away from the gacha system. There's another game that moved away from the gacha system and actually released like a standalone paid version of the game on Steam, which I don't remember if they have already released it, and I don't remember the name, but they have done that.
instead choosing to do away with the gacha system entirely, choosing to monetize primarily through cosmetics instead. And really, in the grand scheme of things, that is a very good thing. But what we also begin to realize is that games like these are few and far between. I mean, the biggest games in the genre are still the ones built around some of the most
yeah, the biggest games of the gacha like genre are gacha games. Color me surprised. I'm sorry, what? Like, you do know if a game removed the gacha, they wouldn't be the best gacha game because they wouldn't be gachas. So yes, the best gacha game has the gacha system because it is a gacha game. Like what?
predatory gacha systems imaginable. Meanwhile, games like Duet Night Abyss, one of the few willing to move away from the formula, are reportedly operating at a loss if the information currently circulating online is too
Duet Night Abyss is operating at a loss because the game just sucks ass.
be believed. And that is
It's not because
of
of the gacha game, the gacha system. Just how many gacha games have come out and have shut down even though they have like a someone decent or predatory or good, whatever gacha system they have, but they still shut down. It's not because of the gacha system or the lack thereof. It's because the game just sucks ass. Like, I'm sorry, but that's how it is.
understand, because whether that information is true or not is the kind of thing
If it had a gacha system, still, it would be going down the drain at the same rate.
other developers are going to see. It sends a message. Okay, so now that we've established the
Yeah, it sends the message of if you make a cheeks game, like an ass cheek game, you're not going to profit. Yeah, it sends the message that you need to make a good game.
inevitability of these systems within gacha games as the second major reason people have become so obsessed with discussing them. What exactly is the most important reason? And this is where the conversation gets really interesting, because I want us to direct our attention to one of the biggest arguments that's being had in the gacha space right now, the Wuthering Waves versus Arc Knights Enfield gacha debates, which in my opinion is also one of the most fascinating discussions in the entire gacha space, mostly because there isn't a definitive
He keeps spamming that shit.
conclusion to this argument. There is no
There is a conclusion. There's math. There's literally math. You can literally make the calculations and prove which one is better and which one is not. Now, when it comes to feelings, that's something else entirely, and every single person has their own opinion about it. But when it comes to math and guarantees, and what you can guarantee, what you cannot, and how much stuff the game actually gives you, guaranteed, again, Enfield is just better. It just gives you more. It just guarantees you more.
no definitive answer. I mean, I've said before in another video that for every person who argues that one system is superior, there are 3 more arguing that the other system is better. Whether you're a casual player, a whale, or even a content creator, that is how the conversation has always been since day one. And more than anything else, what that proves is that regardless,
like, people say that the other system is better because they don't want to admit that one game or another game is better than their favorite game at anything, right? Their favorite game can be absolutely dog shit or something. They would still like die trying to prove that it's not, or that it's better. For example, we all know, you know, I know, everyone knows, Wuthering Waves events are booty cheeks. Arknight's Enfield events are booty cheeks, right? Obviously, I'm not including endgame in neither of these games. So I'm not including TOA, I'm not including WIWA, and I'm not including CC and Echoes of whatever in Arknight's Enfield. I'm including only like the minigame events. Both are booty cheeks compared to pretty much everything else in the genre. Compared to Genshin, compared to Nikkei, compared to Arknights, etc, etc. Like OG Arknights. But there's still people that argue that WoWA or even Arknight's Enfield, I haven't seen many people argue that for Arknight's Enfield, but I have seen a lot of people argue that for Wuthering Waves, saying that Wuthering Waves events are absolutely peak. They are good, they are amazing. And no, they're fucking not. They're dog water, right? And this applies to many other things. For example, for gacha systems and so on and so forth. For example, I like Arknight's Enfield's gacha system. I do. I like it more than NTE, but that's just a preference thing, because I know for a fact that NTE's gacha system is better than Arknight's Enfield. Like, I cannot argue against that. Now, preferring something else is completely fine, but trying to argue that one is better than the other, now that gets tricky, right? And that's the reason that people argue about this, because they cannot accept that one is better.
So which system people believe is better? The difference...
Yeah, people believe it's better, but we can still reach a conclusion of which one is actually better. For example, from here, I would say NTE, then Silver Palace, then Wuthering Waves.
Isn't massive. In fact, it is incredibly small. Yet somehow, imagine that small is enough to make a game like Arknight's Enfield. One of the most...
Though Silver Palace gacha system, they should still increase the rates a little bit. Because for a Spark system with no soft PD, 0.8 is a bit too low.
Missing gacha games to ever enter the gacha space also be one of the most controversial upcoming gacha releases purely because of its gacha system. And to get some insights of this current obsession towards gacha systems, we first have to understand why this is the case. And to answer that, I think we have to go all the way back to where this entire conversation really began.
And we still haven't gotten to the point. I still don't know what the point of the video is, but friend recommended to play WoW. Should I give it a try? Yes, I think you should. Like, I don't see why not. Why you shouldn't try like a game. It's a free game. Like, it's free. Try it out. If you like it, play it. If you don't like it, uninstall it. It's completely fine. Like, why wouldn't you try a free game? I mean, if you have already tried it, or if you have watched like a lot of content of it and it doesn't interest you, then like, yeah, don't play it. But if you're interested in the game, even though maybe it has a bad rep, maybe all your friends don't like it, and etc., why not try it if it's free?
Genshin Impact. I mean, as I always say, all roads lead back to Genshin Impact. That is the game that created this entire discussion. Because see, when Genshin Impact first released, one thing the community collected...
No, it's not. No, it's not. Gacha games have existed before Genshin Impact. And after Genshin Impact, most of the gacha games that have released don't have the Genshin gacha system. Like, what? Look. Think with me. Which games have released that have a Genshinized gacha system? Like, big gacha games that have released that have the Genshinized gacha system. So Hoyo games, which makes sense because they are the same company. Am I right, guys? So I would count that as one. They are literally the same company. It makes sense. They use the same system. Wuthering Waves. Who else? Who else? No one else. Like, no one else. Where is this the standard? No, NTE doesn't use the same system, bro. I'm sorry. It doesn't. Like, it what? How is NTE the same system? Just because it has like a 90 PD? Like, what? Without the 50-50? Yeah, but the 50-50 is what makes a Genshinized gacha system like work. Like the new Blue Archive 50-50, but there's a lot of controversy behind that. So NTE uses hard PD of 90 with a soft PD, and that's it. That's literally it. Even the soft PD works like a little bit differently. But the only similarity is that the PD is at 90, which is the same as Genshin. That's the only similarity. Also, the pool conversion 160 to 1 pool, for example, the pool currency doesn't matter. It could be 1000. People just use 160 because, well, retards like these were brainwashed to thinking that 160 equals good. It could be 100. But that's not even like the core of the gacha system. That's just the currency. It wasn't really a thing before Genshin. Yeah, but there are many games that use 300. There are many games that use 500 for pool currency.
Understood. Even people whose first ever gacha.
But the only games that actually use the Genshinized gacha system is Hoyoverse games and Wuthering Waves. That's it. That's literally it.
Game was Genshin. Was that as incredible as the game itself was, its gacha system was also one of the most predatory we had ever seen. So predatory in fact, that even today, some of the biggest whales in the community still tell players who aren't willing to spend heavily on the game to stay away from the weapons banner, essentially calling it a complete waste of resource. I mean, this is a system so unforgiving that if a brand new gacha game launched today with the exact same structure, it might as well start preparing for its eventual end of service. But here
That's why I think the system of NTE is similar to Hoyo's system. I don't think it is. Like, at all. For example, you say that, oh, it's the same as a Genshin, but it doesn't have a 50-50. Well, if my grandma had wheels, she would have been a bicycle. right? It's like, oh, it's the same, but it's different. So it's either the same or different. Cannot be both at the same time. Oh, it's the same, but there's this changes, this also changes, and so it's not the same. The most similar ones is just Hoyoverse games and Wuwa. Because with enough twisting, I could also say that Silver Palace is the same as something like Within Waves. Or it's the same as Within Waves, it just doesn't have soft PD, and the PD is at 100. Does that work? No. For example. Yeah, that's why the weapon banner in Within Waves is literally different. It doesn't work the same. It's a different system for the weapon banner. We're talking about, obviously, when I'm talking about the gacha system, I'm talking about the character gacha system. Right? The weapon banner for Within Waves works nothing like the Genshin's weapon banner, for example. Same means 80 guaranteed, 50-50 on character. Yeah. So if we remove the 50-50, it's not the same anymore. And there are some parameters that matter a bit more than others. For example, if hard PD instead of 80 is 70, I mean, that doesn't change much because it's still a hard PD, but the 50-50 changes a lot. It changes a lot. Also count the conversion 160 to 1 does not matter, but the fact that they choose that clearly shows they wanted. Yes, I will not deny that the 160 to 1 just looks more familiar. But we're talking about the gacha system, not the currency conversion. Because that's totally different.
Here's the interesting part. Even with a system like that, Genshin still worked. And not only did it work, it became one of the biggest games in the entire world. And really, it's not very hard to understand why. Genshin was the standard. It was a different breed. We had never seen a game like Genshin.
What? I mean, you can say that Genshin probably set a standard for open world gacha games, but saying Genshin was the standard when Genshin released is just wrong. That's not how standards work.
Impact in the gacha space before. And because of that, we witnessed something towards Genshin Impact that we'll probably never see again in another gacha game. And that is the entire gacha community's ignorance towards our...
You prefer a gacha with 100 hard PD with 50-50 or 200 hard PD but guaranteed. So here's the thing. A gacha game that has a hard PD of 200 will eventually give you more pulls per patch than the game that has 100 PD guaranteed. It's more or less how WoW works. For example, WoW works by giving you a guaranteed 5-star per patch in pools. A game that doesn't have a 50-50 system would have to increase those rewards automatically. If they don't, they just like shoot themselves in the foot.
How predatory his gacha system actually was. In fact, it wasn't just ignored, it was accepted.
But with a straight yes or no, to not skip the question, I would prefer the 100 pool 50-50 one. If, obviously, if the next one was guaranteed, right? If it worked like the Genshins and was like 50-50 system.
Because 2 years later, Honkai Star Rail released with the exact same monetization philosophy, and once again, Hoyoverse had another absolute juggernaut on their hands. A game that will go on to surpass Genshin.
I mean, I play a game that has a 200 guaranteed with no 50-50, so... And it's probably the most friendly gacha game that I play.
Impact in revenue during certain periods. Whether it's back at 2023 when it's first released, or even right now as I'm making this video. Fast forward a couple years, and we all know how that story continues. Wuthering Waves came along and introduced a better system, one that players ultimately embraced with open arms. But here's the thing with Wuthering Waves bringing a newer system. See, while at the time it just felt like another improvement, I don't think many of us have really stopped to think about how important that moment really was. Not just for Wuthering.
It barely improved. It barely improved the gacha system. They just changed the numbers a little bit. They're like, oh, instead of 180, let's make it 160 and just make the weapon guarantee. That's basically all they did.
Waves even, but for the entire gacha genre as a whole.
Like, god damn it. I think Wuthering Waves gacha, out of these games, Wuthering Waves gacha system, when it comes to like characters and weapons, it is on par with ZZZ. I think the WoWo wins on weapons because weapons are they're like 75-25 something. But let's say that Wuthering Waves wins against ZZZ, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and obviously Fate Grand Order. And let's pretend Summoner Wars and Pokemon Masters as well. I don't know what the gacha systems are here. It doesn't win against Arknights, and it doesn't win against Nikkei. Like, for example. And Nikkei came out after Genshin. I don't know if you guys knew, but Nikkei came out after Genshin Impact.
Because more than anything, that moment created two very important...
So that's another game that didn't follow the quote-unquote standard.
The first was that gacha systems were actually capable of changing. I mean, the system popularized by Genshin Impact.
Bro, do you know which gacha system is actually better? Battle Cat. Because you can see what you're going to get before pulling.
And later repeated in Honkai Star Rail and Zelda Zero, wasn't destined to become the universal standard for every gacha game. No, the existence of Wuthering Waves made us realize that it simply became the standard for Hoyoverse's games. And the second realization was even more important. The fact that not only could the culture around gacha systems change, it could actually improve. I mean, that is what Wuthering Waves brought to the table, an objective improvement to a system that many of us I genuinely believe would never change. And to be
How does that quote go? How does that quote go? Like the moment you start you stop changing is the moment you stop improving, some shit like that. I don't remember the quote. But why would you never change this? This is a booty cheeks. This gacha system is a booty cheeks.
be fair, that belief made complete sense. I mean, after all, that same formula had already turned both Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail into some of the biggest games in the entire world. But see, that is not all, because there was one more realization that came from all of this, or rather, one realization that naturally followed from the first two. And that was that we were happy, we were satisfied. For the first time in a very long time, players looked at the gacha system with genuine excitement instead of frustration. I mean, we didn't need...
well, that's because you got fucked in the ass by Genshin Impact, but anyone with a pair of eyes would have looked at Wuthering Waves. Everyone that had played Nikkei, everyone that had played Arknights, everyone that would have played Limbos, everyone that would have played any of these other gacha games could look at this system and know that it's booty cheeks. Like, what?
need any complicated spreadsheets, probability charts, mathematical equations to understand why the Wooden Wave system felt better than Genshin's. We had gone from a system so unforgiving that players were constantly told never to pull on the weapon banner to a system where the advice became always to pull on the weapon banner alongside every 5-star character. And I honestly believe that more than the math, more than the pull income, more than the exact probability of any numerical comparison, it is that feeling, that happiness players associated with the Wooden Wave's gacha system.
Wait. He's speaking so fast that it's getting past me, actually. Did he say that players are happy because they would pull on every weapon banner? Or they could pull on every weapon banner. But let me break it to you. If you pull on every weapon banner, you're not going to be able to pull on every character. Like, at all. At all. You can only guarantee one character a patch. Like, let's say 1.5 characters. So let's say that Wuthering Waves gives you, I don't know, I'm going to be crazy with this one, okay? But hear me out. Imagine Wuthering Waves gives you 120 pulls, okay? 120 pulls a patch. Now, I'm being very generous with this number, but let's imagine those 120 pulls include like the shop pulls and whatnot. So you can guarantee one 5-star character. So in 2 patches, you can guarantee one limited character. One limited character. So 120 plus 120, 240. So you need 2 patches. So you need 4 banners because WoW gives you 4 new characters per 2 patches. So 2 new characters, 1 patch, 2 new characters, another patch. They rarely go a patch without giving you a new character. So you would need to skip 3 characters and 3 weapons for you to be able to guarantee 1 character and 1 weapon. So out of 4 or out of 8 banners, you can guarantee 2 of the things that you want. Is that a good system? I don't think it is. Okay? I don't think it is. I don't think you should be happy with it. Is it better than something like, I don't know, Genshin, all things considered? Maybe. I mean, Genshin gives you a little bit more time to save, but it's still better than Genshin at the end of the day. But is it good? I don't think so.
That continued and still continues to give it an edge in the never-ending debates between the Wooden Wave system and the Arknight's Enfield system. And I think I can prove this to you. Consider this scenario. Imagine if Wooden Waves didn't launch with the system it had today. What if instead it's launched with the Arknight's Enfield system? I mean, regardless of how you personally feel about Enfield's system right now, one thing that is almost universally agreed upon is that it is still leagues better than the one introduced by Genshin Impact. So imagine receiving that system immediately after years of only knowing the...
Wait. Okay, breathe. Let's breathe in, breathe out. So, okay, do you guys hear that? Do I need to explain this actually? Like, so Wuthering Waves, it's just like a tweaked version of Genshin, like the gacha system, obviously. It's just like tweaked. It's just a little bit better. Everyone literally agreed on the launch of the game that yes, Wuthering Waves is better, but it's basically Genshin system, just a little bit better. It's not like mind-breaking, it's not like game-changing. It's better, but it's not leagues better. Right? And bro just said that Arknight's Enfield is leagues better than something like Genshin Impact. So here's the thing. here's the thing. If it's leagues better than, it's either leagues better than Genshin, which would be better than WoWa, or it's worse than WoWa, which would be like basically the same shit as Genshin. Which one? Pick one. Pick one. It cannot be leagues better than Genshin, but worse than Wuthering Waves. That doesn't make sense. Have you reached the part that broke your mind? I don't know.
reverse model. How do you think the community would have reacted? And to make the thought experiment even more interesting, what if Arknight's Enfield then released afterwards with the Wuthering Waves system instead? What do you think the conversation would have looked like? Because see, my belief is that even in that situation, the three realizations that we just talked about would have remained the exact same.
I mean, I think the conversation would have been, this system is dog water, but at least the normies, the brain dead people, the wider audience per se, at least they wouldn't be talking about it, you know. But we all know why this became a controversy. It's because of one rat.
I mean, just like with the Wuthering Waves system, we still would have understood
Stream
that.
dead? I don't think so. It's fine on my side. What? It's fine on my side. Because can't load it? What? It's fine, ignore them. It's fine here. Stream... Bro, you're just rage baiting me. Y'all trolling, fuck you guys.
That kept the Arknight system instead. We still would have come to the conclusion that Wuthering Waves had pushed the genre forward. And most importantly, we still would have been genuinely satisfied with the direction the genre was taking. In fact, there's a very good chance that even if Arknight had came out afterwards with the Wuthering Waves system, the conversation would not have changed much. Rather, it would have at most simply changed targets. I mean, instead of comparing Arknight's Enfield to the system we had today, we would have compared it to the system we had already become accustomed to. We might have criticized Arknight's Enfield for clinging to what many would have considered a slightly improved version of an already archaic system, the old Genshin formula. We might have complained about going back to a 160 pull guarantee after becoming so accustomed to Wuthering Waves' 120 pull guarantee. Might have criticized...
Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, wait, what? No. Did I hear that right? Did I hear that right? I need to fuck Nat for it. Same, brother. Fist bump. Did I hear that right? Wait, what?
Of an already archaic system, the old Genshin formula.
The old Genshin formula? Let's pay attention.
I complained about going back to a 160 pull guarantee after
okay.
The old Genshin formula. We might have complained about going back to a 160.
Complain about going back to 160 guarantee. I thought bro was talking about WoWa here.
60 pull guarantee after becoming so accustomed to Wuthering Waves 1.
After becoming accustomed to Wuthering Waves? What?
20 pull guarantee.
120 pull guarantee? Oh, wait, what? Did bro like check his script before he like read it? And while reading it, didn't bro like register it on its mind? And while editing the video, he didn't listen to himself say that. Like, what? So his GPT started confused, maybe.
Might have criticized the fact that your PD resets after winning a single 50-50 instead of allowing multiple consecutive 50-50 wins before resetting. I mean, the exact criticism doesn't matter, but the...
Wait, what?
Pull guarantee. Might have criticized the fact that your PD resets after winning a single 50-50 instead of allowing multiple consecutive 50-50.
Instead of allowing consecutive 50-50 wins in a row.
50 wins before resetting. I mean...
Wait. So here's the thing. Sorry, I got ganked IRL.
Winning a single 50-50 instead of allowing multiple consecutive 50-50 wins before resetting. I mean,
Instead of allowing consecutive 50-50 wins in a row before resetting. I don't think there's a single game that does that. What? Now this is true. I don't think there's a single game that does that. There's not a single game that allows you to win consecutive 50-50. I mean, every game allows you to win 50-50s in a row, but no game guarantees you to win 50-50s in a row. Like what? Oh yeah, technically the 200 pool tokens do not reset if you win a 50-50 in Arknight's Anfield. But yeah, you can still lose 50-50s before that though. There's no game except NTE, but NTE doesn't have 50-50, yeah, so it doesn't count. Like what? He meant NTE? How? NTE doesn't have a 50-50, what the fuck? And also he said before resetting. Like before, if he's talking about NTE, before resetting what? The pity? Obviously, like the pity keeps resetting every time you win. If you win 3 50-50, you get another copy, so that's 4 for 240. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Getting Clanker so confused generates this. Pff. I mean, it was like a whole bunch of nothing for like a solid like 8 minutes of the video. Then he just started glazing Wuthering Waves, and now he's trying to reason his points. But here's the thing. This video could have been like 3 minutes long. And if you asked ChatGPT to turn this into a script, it would have been a script of like 3 minutes or 2 minutes, right? This is him saying like, hey, yo, I need like a over 10-minute video. Can you like give me like 10,000 words or some shit? This is ChatGPT trying. Like it's trying. Like very hard. There's so much shit for criticizing Anfield now. What did you say? You know you cannot criticize my favorite gacha game, right? Not in front of me.
the exact criticism doesn't matter, but the reality is there is a very high chance the conversation would have ended up almost exactly like it does today. Because at the end of the day, we got used to the system we had, we were happy with it. And perhaps more importantly, we can clearly see the advantages of the system we're currently used to over any alternative that is presented to us. And I think that is a realization a lot.
Well, because you're familiar with it. I mean, if you wholeheartedly like something, you will probably only see the advantages. And if you go with the, you know, with the hate campaign that your father made when he posted 60 videos in a month about Arknight's Anfield gacha system and how it's dog water, then, well, you would be conditioned to believe that, or to just see the bad things on that specific system, for example. Or maybe you didn't even know how it works because you believed whatever that rat said. Going to join your Discord just to criticize Anfield? Don't worry, bro. I have Kurobots on my Discord server. I have one of my mods called me up after I posted a video, and we stayed on a Discord call talking about I think it was the power creep between Wuthering Waves and ZZZ and how each one compares, because he didn't agree with me when it came to Wuthering Waves having more power creep than ZZZ, and he plays both games. I also have people that have never touched Anfield, and so on and so forth. So, yeah. Said CC was released too early and it sucked because of it. I think CC was fine. It did need a lot of improvements. So here's the thing. We already had different enemies like present in the game to be used for CC, different bosses and stuff like that. But they decided to make the most boring ass dog water floors known to man. I mean, it was still hard, which was the point, but come on. You cannot argue that it's the floors could have been like a lot more interesting, obviously. But we needed like something to test the waters, and that's what it was basically. They're basically testing the waters. It's not going to be the perfect or most exciting iteration of CC, but it was still fun and it was still challenging. You know what I mean? So it's not that it was bad, it's just that it could have been a lot better.
A lot of people.
I mean, it's pre-fertilized. Wait, what? Hello?
Look, when we have these gacha discussions, I mean, the reality is that yes, nobody wants a worse system. Nobody wants to go back to the old Genshin system. But at the same time, it is incredibly difficult to convince players to abandon a system they are already satisfied with in favor of another one that mathematically performs almost the same. Because no matter how much developers or publishers try to explain or market a brand new system, the reality is that whenever a gacha game introduces something players don't immediately recognize.
Okay. I'm sorry, but this is right and wrong at the same time. So his overall idea, which I don't know if it was his or ChatGPT, you know, but the overall idea is good. So yes, people that have been accustomed to like a one type of system will have a hard time customizing themselves to a different type of system. That's just normal, even though that system performs almost the same or even a little bit better than the system they are currently using. Now, what's wrong about this is that they are comparing Arknight's Enfield's system to Genshin Impact, which is incomparable. In terms of free-to-play friendliness and the amount of stuff that you can get, like mathematically, it's incomparable. Like Genshin is just like a lot worse than Arknight's Enfield. Now Arknight's Enfield is just a tiny wee better than Wuthering Waves, right? Because it just offers more of a on the gacha system itself for the characters. I'm talking about only the characters. Yeah, just a tiny wee bit better than Wuthering Waves, and most of the that better comes from the fact that it has a lower hard PD, right? It has a lower ceiling to get there. So this would have been right if he used Wuthering Waves as an example. But he's using Genshin Impact as an example as a way to try to make the Arknight's Enfield gacha system look worse than Wuthering Waves, which it is not. Okay, it is not.
The audience's first instinct isn't to give it a chance. It isn't to sit down and analyze the probabilities. It's not even to wait until they've experienced the game for themselves. No. The first instinct is to ask one question. How is this system trying to screw me over? Because as I said at the beginning of this video, the default association most people have with gacha systems is the word predatory. And really more than anything, what players really want from a gacha system is satisfaction. I mean, that is why the neverness to everness system has been received so well. It's not just competing with what currently exists.
I've heard the opposite. I've heard that NTE's gacha system is not satisfactory because it's always guaranteed. That's what I've heard. So are you telling me that that's not true then?
It is different. It offers players something they can immediately recognize as an improvement without any calculations being involved. And I believe that is also the exact reason why Silver Palace's gacha system has generated so much controversy. I mean, once again,
well, that automatically contradicts itself because you can automatically tell that this system has been improved without any calculations, the same way that you can tell that Silver Palace gacha system has been improved compared to something like Wuthering Waves without any calculations because the heartbeat is lower. Sorry?
It's also the exact reason why Silver Palace's gacha system has generated so much controversy. I mean, once again, we're seeing backlash before release. We're seeing people write off the game before they've even had the chance to play it. We're seeing content creators spend more time talking about the gacha system than the actual game itself. But still, based on everything we've learned so far about the current
I mean, people talk about the gacha system because, well, for one, it is a gacha game, and the gacha system is always talked about, especially when it is a different gacha system. Now, the thing about the gacha system being a lot more talked about is to prevent retontas from spreading misinformation. Because, you know, I know, your mother knows, even your grandpa knows, that Saint Ondas is going to be spreading misinformation about these new games. Like everybody knows. It happened with Arknight's Enfield, and people don't want it to happen again because he was the driver. He was the one. He was him. He was the guy that started all of this. He started the brigade. He started the hate campaign. He made 60 videos on Arknight's Enfield in a month. You know how dedicated you must be to hating something, to be making 60 videos in a month talking about something you dislike? Like, what the hell?
gacha community, there seems to be a fairly straightforward solution. If you're going to introduce a new gacha system, either make it recognizable enough or make it so obviously better than what came before that players don't have to debate whether it is an improvement. Because if you fail to do either of these things, as we have seen time and time again, the conversation will almost always become about the monetization instead.
So, here's the thing. Why every attempt by the new gacha generation to manipulate us has backfired? The statement in the title wasn't answered or even addressed in the video. What? It wasn't even addressed in the video, was it? Do I just not understand English? Like, why every attempt in the new gacha generation to manipulate us has backfired? Backfired where? Who? If he's talking about Arknight's Enfield, he didn't even went in depth about what the backfiring was. ChatGPT switched his script? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Like, what? Anyway. Anyway, let's go to a different video. Like, what did I just watch? I feel like I finished watching this, and I still don't know what the video was about. I still don't know what the video was about. Like, what was the point of the video? Like, was it to state an opinion? I only heard like a little bit of Wooba Glaze and just like overall general, like broad opinions that wouldn't even wouldn't be even enough to make a video about. He posted it and he doesn't know either. Wow. I mean, it makes sense he doesn't know because he came out with a title that makes no sense for this video. Chat overlay on stream has been frozen. Oh, really? Oh, it actually is. Oh, right. Let me check something here. Yeah, I need to do this. I think it should be good. Should be good now. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. I completely forgot because I didn't close the app before. I didn't close the app before starting stream again, so it got frozen. Just didn't call out at the very beginning. What? Polyester Spider-Man feels more bearable. Who the fuck is Polyester Spider-Man? What? Gacha Space is so cool that even AI is now giving their critiques on gacha games. That's criminal, bro. Anyway, let's go here. What should we watch next, actually? So let's close this post. 1.5 hours. I didn't notice because my chat doesn't need me reading this. I have a different chat right here. You can see. This is the chat I'm reading, not this one, bro. So it might be too much at this point. I don't have any. Yeah, I think Saint. I think we'll leave Saints for another day. No. What is this even about? Let me check.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen,
30 minutes?
I have had a bit of a. Actually, going to invest in the healing now.
So it's just him playing. I'm dying. Game just. Look at his face, bro. Lamar.
I'm good, bro. I can't do this no more, man.
Lamar. The same text when I close the game? Really? No performance issues found? True. They are improving the performance, guys. Am I right? God damn. Anyway, I watched this video off stream. Actually, so I'm closing this. Always bet on nothing. What is this about?
So dude, this is your boy Tuhu. New week.
Tuhu video. And he copied Wuwa just like Wuwa copied Genshin.
New gotcha drama, and would you guess it, the Wuwa shills are at it again, and this time they've been roasting NTE for...
I think error is a PC issue. Is it? Actually, let me see. What's the error? Just fatal error? UE4 client game has crashed. I think it's a DirectX error. UE4 fatal Yeah, full screen optimization and use DirectX 11 instead of DirectX 12. I think it is a DirectX error. So maybe a faulty installation. DirectX, maybe it's corrupt. Maybe he should reinstall it. Maybe some Windows bugs, which you can check by yourself on CMD. DirectX 12. Yeah, I think so too. It's not hard to fix. You can fix it with a simple command. So it would be CMD sfc /scan now, which will not work because I didn't use like admin. If you use that /scan now, you can just scan your PC for errors and fix it. So if you have a game that keeps crashing and you don't know how to fix it, just do that and you'll probably find some errors on Windows. That's like the easiest way of fixing like Windows errors when you can't for the life of you like figure out why something is not working or crashing or slowing down. You just do that. Anyway, so let's go back to the Tuhu video.
Or copying Wuthering Waves by calling Zanko a copy of some Wuwa characters like Camellia and Cantarella. Well,
I did already make a video about the Wuwa or the NTE copy thing.
Well, it's not exactly new. They started jerking themselves off.
I mean, I used DirectX 12. Well, it is slower, but it has more features. Right? It has more features, and a lot of settings are locked if you don't use DirectX 12.
Over this about 2 weeks
But
ago,
it is
back when we
slower.
first got the 1.3 preview stream for NTE, where they first showed off Zanko's animations and such. I've just been busy grinding out a big video for OG Arknights in the meantime, which you should go watch once it's out, and because my sponsor wanted me to line up a video for Qingxiao's banner and Wuwa. And speaking of which, new banner in Wuwa, which means that I gotta tell you about Enjoy GM, which is a website that allows you to purchase those gems to Enjoy GM for sponsoring this video. Okay, back to our regularly
Why is
scheduled...
everyone getting sponsored by this shit? I've gotten a lot of emails, like from these. I don't think I've gotten from Enjoy GM. I don't remember, but I've gotten a ton of emails from top up sites saying, "Hey, a new banner or a new character banner. It's a great opportunity for you to be part of our content creation or content creator, like whatever the fucks." And I'm like, bro, fuck you. I don't want it. I don't want it. Yes, have I used a top up site before? Yes, I have. I've used Alki Shop as well, but I'm never taking a sponsor from these top up sites because they are just shady. I mean, I use them for my own benefit, but I'm not going to be telling my viewers to use something like this when I know that most of the time these companies are shady and most of the time it's not secure, it's not safe. I use a throwaway credit card, not credit card, but debit card, which I just create on a spot, use it, and it gets deleted right after. Like for every single one of these sites. So I don't recommend anyone using it if you don't know what you're doing. It's not safe. Also, it reminds me of, you know what? The honey controversy. Do you guys remember of the honey controversy? Because I do. Where did they get their money? Did they make free money? We don't know. Guess what they were doing? They were stealing money from other content creators. The cookie scam, basically.
Today. Thanks to Enjoy GM for sponsoring this video. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled road.
Try one of them, still scared to this day. You get banned for it. You'll probably not get banned for it, but if there's ever a leak related to these websites, be careful, because it has happened before. Also, Egg said have something to DM about. Sure, you can DM me and we can talk after I finish the stream.
Posting of some rat-ass idiots on Gacha
Unless
Twitter.
you want me to
this
check it out now.
controversy this time started when, like I said at the start, NTE showed off Zanko's animations, particularly her combat animations, and the Wua cucks on Twitter instantly pulled their pitchforks out their assholes and started bitching about the game copying their beloved Mandate of Heaven-ass gacha, known as Wuthering Waves. From what I understand, and I do have to emphasize the what I understand part here because
Stop calling me honey, you make me blush, brother. Can show it on screen? Sure. Let me check it out then. Okay, actually, let me do this. I don't know what's the last. Yeah. that was a good choice. That was a good choice. Think these top-up sites are all run by the same people. Every couple of months, a new one pops up with the same fonts and shit, and how these top-up sites even had the funds to sponsor CCs. Yeah, that's what I think as well, because of the, well-known honey controversy. I think it's literally a pyramid scheme or some shit like that. I don't know. Like, honey controversy. Let's see if it resumes for me. The word section that applies online coupons face a controversy after allegations that hijacked affiliates revenue by re-attributing sales even when no discount was applied, and by controlling which discount codes users saw, leading to class action lawsuits and policy changes by Google in 2025. So that's the controversy. So they were hijacking affiliate revenue by reattributing sales even if they didn't apply a discount. So yeah. That's why I don't like these top-up sites. Like, sure, it's an easy quote-unquote sponsor, but people still need to use your code. And
I don't know if it's even possible for me to truly understand what goes through their fetal alcohol syndrome-ass brains here. The Wuwa shills are saying that NTE copied some of Camellia's combat animations for Zanko, specifically the one where Zanko like falls down from the air, I think while strung up by ribbons or some shit, which is similar to what Camellia does in her own ult in Wuwa. Apparently they're also saying that they copied Cantarella too. Though the only thing I really see there is like the personality, I guess, since they're both like
the giveaway stream that I did.
Milker type waifus. There are so many holes that I can rip through this dumb shit argument here. I mean anything, and I do mean literally anything, that the Wuwa shills try to argue I can just rip to shreds and they can't do shit about it except try to strawman and deflect with another dog shit argument they'd pull out of their ass. But this one in particular is just so wonderfully stupid that I feel like it's just free YouTube money for me to just dismantle it. First, let's take a look at Zanko herself and compare.
Whenever whenever I see a Saint Tontas video,
in particular, is just so wonderfully stupid that I feel like it's just free YouTube money for me to just dismantle it. First,
I see a dumbass Saint Tontas video talking about Iron Knights Anfield, and I'm like, ooh, guess who's paying for my coffee today? You know, and I get 50 cents for it. That's amazing.
Let's take a look at Zanko herself and compare her to Camellia and Cantarella from Wuwa. Zanko does not remind me of either of those two, either physically or in terms of animation. Compared to Camellia, Zanko has the older lady, mature swordswoman vibe, while Camellia is more of a young adult or even an older teenager, depending on how you see her. Zanko and Cantarella definitely have similar personalities, but they mainly share their seductive traits, and that's it. Zanko is literally fucking mentally insane, and she's a straight-up villain in NTE's story, whereas Cantarella isn't batshit crazy, and, well, there aren't any playable bad guys or bad girls in Wuwa, because the Chinese players would have a fucking heart attack if Kuro tried to give them one. Hey, just ask NTE how that went with Zanko. Honestly, I don't know why the Wuwa cucks didn't compare Zanko to Hiyuki instead. You know,
I mean, Hiyuki would have been such a better comparison, though. Like, Hiyuki would be a better comparison. I think it didn't cross their mind. They just saw Flower, Camellia. That's all they saw.
White-haired, katana or nodachi-wielding Japanese-themed swordswomen? Hello? Though I'm sure, you know, some of them might have by now, if they've still got half a brain that's still functional. Animation-wise, I do see 2 points of contention here, both of them having to do with Zanko's ults. Her first ult
I'm going to be honest, it didn't cross my mind, like, Zanko and Hiyuki, like, comparison even. Like, actually. Because it's both characters look amazing, and I would goon to either one of them, so I don't care. Like, yay, more characters for me to appreciate. Like, I dig those type of characters. Long white hair characters, big boobs, thick thighs. I mean, I wouldn't say no to that. Like, Cinderella from Nikkei, for example, could be one of those. Like, imagine you have Hiyuki on one side, one arm around Hiyuki, another arm around Cinderella, you know, from Nikkei, and you just have Zanko just sitting on your lap. I mean, who would say no to that? Like, hell yeah.
Is very reminiscent of Camellia's ult in Wuwa with the whole flower explosion thing and the ribbons that tie them up from God knows where. And Zanko's second ult kind of looks like a downscaled version of Fleur-de-Lis's nuke ult where they both slice the ground.
Oh, but they look the same. Do I give a shit?
Half with their swords or something. But those aren't the only animations that Zanko has. Most of the time you're seeing basics and skill animations, and those look nothing like either Camellia.
I mean, I wish something like... I wish they released a character that would be like anywhere similar to Red Hood in Wuthering Waves, or Arknight's Enfield, or NTE. I wish they did. For example, I wouldn't be crying that they copied it. I would be like, yay, another Red Hood. Like, fuck yeah.
Or Fleur-de-Lis's basic attacks or skills in Wuwa. Not to mention, the first halves of both of Zanko's ults look nothing like the wind-up animations of Camellia's or Fleur-de-Lis's ults either. So they're not even complete copies of them in the first place. And besides, even if we assume the worst here, and Hata actually did straight up copy the Wuwa characters from before, like Camellia and Cantarella, those two have been in Wuwa for a long time now. It's one thing if one gacha comes out with a popular character, right? And then another gacha game comes along and puts out their own character that seems to share more than just a few things with that last character from the first gacha game. But like, it's been over a year since Cantarella came out. Hell, NT wasn't even out last year, bro. Again, Zanko copying Hiyuki makes a lot more sense here, but that's not what I saw the Wuwa shills bitching their little dicks off about on Twitter, so hey, ain't my fault they're so goddamn retarded. If nothing else, these are fucking Chinese gacha games. And I don't know if you heard the stereotype, but the Chinese love copying shit.
Do you feel the impact of old in NTE? I think NTE does suffer a bit with impact frames and overall impact of attacks. They do.
Like people used to call Genshin
I
Breath of the
think it's
Waifu
mostly
girl, right?
because
Remember
of the
that
sound.
one? Like, even
Not
if you
gonna lie.
desperately want to believe that NTE copied some of Wua's character designs,
I think they need like more bass in their sounds.
just for your own dog shit rat agenda, because your name is John Seaman and you can't get enough of St. Tontus's jizz stuck in your throat, what are you gonna...
What John Seaman does. NTE once again copied Wua. Lamau.
What are you gonna do about it, other than make some angry tribalist...
It was Camellia and Cartathea. Yeah. He's just saying that comparing it to Hyuki would have made more sense.
The gotcha tweets about it like a bunch of fuck-ass cavemen sucking each other off. Because if I were you, I'd just be like, oh, that's cute. Zanko's ults look like Camellia's and Flirtless's, and design-wise, she's a lot like Hyuki, and that'd be the end of that. And I don't know about y'all, but it is not worth my damn time sitting here.
He mistook Camellia for Cantarella? Wait, really?
And Flirtless's, and design-wise, she's a lot like Hyuki, and that'd be the... Other than make some angry tribalistic gotcha tweets about it like a bunch of fuck-ass cavemen sucking each other off. Because if I were you, I'd just be like, oh, that's cute. Zanko's ults look like Camellia's and Flirtless's, and design-wise...
Oh, he did say Camellia.
A lot like Hyuki, and that'd be the end of that. And I don't know about y'all, but it is not worth my damn time sitting here bitching my ass off.
He did show Cantarella back here, but I think it was more because of personality. I think he was comparing personality. So,
about how much I think this one character from a gacha game...
Yeah, I saw Cantarella, but I thought he was talking about like personality-wise, right? Like he was saying that personality-wise, she would be more like, I don't know, or body-wise, I don't know.
That I don't even play, copied characters from another gacha that I also probably don't even play, unless glazing it all the time on social media counts as playing. And hey, gotta remind y'all too that Kuro doesn't like it when their players talk shit about other gacha games out there. That's why they never sponsor that rat clown or any of the other rats for that matter, in case you were wondering, by the way. Where the fuck is St. Tontus whenever Kuro Fest happens, for example? Why doesn't that...
True. Here's the funny thing. There were some people that have complained about Wuthering Waves and complained about certain aspects of the story or rated it badly and still got invited. Meanwhile, Tontas, that was at the time like trying to suck Kuro's cock as much as he could, was not invited, not even sponsored even.
Fuck-ass loser ever get invited to IRL Wuwa events like Fobmaster or Genizod do? Is it maybe because Tencent slips him a few bucks under the table over PayPal or some shit to talk mad shit about anything that's not Wuwa? I mean, we already know they do that over in China already.
Oh, wait, what? That's a crazy lore drop right here. That's actually a crazy lore bomb. So you're telling me Tencent has done it before? Okay. Bomba.
Ready? What's stopping them from doing that shit here too? And speaking of copying, Wuwa's copied so much shit
Chinese
themselves
business?
too.
Well, Genshin has also done it before, kinda. I have made a video about it where there was this one content creator that, well, slipped up during one live stream. and it be hype me.
All the big gacha
That's
games
a soul
out
game.
there are the direct result of Genshin Impact coming out first and revolutionizing the gacha industry. Without Genshin, we wouldn't have any of the other big gacha games that we do now, or at the very least, not in their current states. Star Rail, Zenless, Enfield, NTE, whatever else we get in the future like Silver Palace and Ananta.
Wasn't Enfield already thought for production before like Genshin released? But I might be completely wrong on that. But for sure, Genshin did in fact like push the market forwards when it comes to open world these kind of open world games. They did.
Or Azure Premilia 2 for that matter, and most relevant to this video, WUA. None of them would exist in their current forms, or hell, arguably even at all, without Genshin coming out first. We can go deeper and nitpick the details here too. WUA is an open world exploration-based gacha game. And gee, I wonder what other gacha game they took that concept from. You run around the map and unlock new regions by going through the main story. You pick up side quests by interacting with NPCs around the map. And you farm progression materials for your characters.
That Genshin down below? Is that Genshin down below? Who the fuck convinced me or tried to convince me that Genshin hasn't improved its graphics? Oh, graphics. The fuck tried to convince me that Genshin hasn't improved its graphics? I mean, it does have a more simplistic art style, but I already knew they did, but not to this extent. It looks good. Let's see. Do we explore the world? Do we explore the world? I mean, compared to what we arrived to in Mondstadt, right? Robots convinced you? Maybe. I mean, not convinced, because I know they had improved, but I have never actually went and checked. So this is what I was used to, right? Okay, this is like giga zoomed in. I don't know what bro is doing. Do we not have gameplay of Snatch Naya yet? The hell? Which community started the gacha tribalism bullshit? You could say Star Rail, yes. But the Star Rail started with Star Rail started it as a joke. Like Star Rail was a joke, and it was towards Genshin. It was like the joke was Genshin could never. Like literally. And I think even the devs were in on it because it was actual, like truly just a joke. Like no one took it seriously. It was just like Genshin could never. Oh, Star Rail added this, Genshin could never. And so on and so forth. But that was the first instance of it. But then it kind of like
from specific domains
from there,
or dungeons or overworld bosses. Just like in Genshin, WUA features characters who use 5 different types of weapon classes.
Oh my god, Wuwa copied Genshin confirmed? Damn. I couldn't tell. Actually, I couldn't tell. Spanning event, Genshin could not. True. True. And that goes for Wuwa as well. I mean, that's one thing Wuwa could have copied from Genshin and they didn't. Which would be not having a spanning event.
And 6 different attributes, because they didn't want to make it too obvious who they were copying from if they called them elements. Hell, Kuro even tried to put in their own elemental reaction system.
They did, I remember that. And I think it would probably have been better to add some kind of elemental system instead of whatever the fuck they added with the corrosion and whatever the fuck. Like the spectral frazzle and whatnot. I think this would have been better than that, not gonna lie.
During development, but they scrapped it because they ran out of development money or something. You have normal attacks, a single skill, and a single ult. And hey, guess what? Just like in Genshin. And I can already hear the Wuwa cucks in my comment section or any rat reacting to this video whining about how no.
I mean, the rats don't really react to videos, right? They pre-watch it, or they just like listen to 5 seconds of it, then they talk about 40 minutes and post it without ever reacting to your video. So don't worry, they won't even hear you say that.
You're wrong. Wuwa doesn't copy anything from Genshin. Look how much better our animations are. I mean, I get that y'all are some fuck-ass zoomers who get entertained by Solon jingling a few keys in front of your faces, but you don't have to say...
True! I literally said something similar on my other video. Like, a monkey see colors, monkey see a lot of flashy lights, monkey likey, you know? And literally the same thing. When the Tontard was talking about the VFX of Typhus.
Say that out loud, man. Trust me, I already know. More to the point, since they can't make a proper argument to salvage the fact that they're supposed to be intelligent life forms, I'll do their job for them. While I do call Wuwa a Genshin clone, that doesn't mean that I think Wuwa's copied everything from Genshin. Especially 2 years later, Wuwa's deviated quite a lot from the original Genshin formula that they've clearly been inspired by. And I say the same thing about every other big gacha game out there, because they're all more or less Genshin clones. And all of them, while they...
I think Genshin created a new... actually a new genre. I think Genshin created a new genre, and I think that should be a name for this new type of genre of game, because just like Demon Souls pioneered the Souls-like games, you know, Genshin pioneered these kind of open or semi-open world games that more or less have the same core functions, which would be the character, which you equip the weapon, which you level separately, which you get from separate banners, which you have to collect resources, specific resources to level up each character, and so on and so forth. The core of how these games work, they're all the same. So I think there should be a new genre to describe this type of games. Because they are not just gacha games, since they're not just open world gacha games, since gacha game can be many things. For example, Nikkei doesn't work anywhere similarly to Genshin Impact, right? So, you know, isn't Genshin just Breath of the Wild just with gacha? No, not really.
have copied or reimagined Genshin's core concept have deviated away from it too, to become their own games when they launched. But if
yeah, it's like the Souls games. For example, Code Vein also deviated from the core Souls formula, and they're their own game, obviously, but it's still a Souls-like, and so on and so forth. So I think there should be a name, like a Genshin-like, but Genshin-like doesn't roll off the tongue easy. And the tribalists wouldn't want to have their game be a Genshin-like, right? They wouldn't want it. And I did talk about this, and I know I've said this like a billion times, but I have almost 500 videos, so it makes sense that I've talked about a lot of these things in these games where I think it was here that I talked about it. No, I don't think it was. Would it be? I don't remember it. Well, I did talk about during a live stream, but I don't remember if I posted it. But I did say that we have like two types of gacha games. One where you have the description of gacha game because it has a gacha monetization system, and a type of gacha game that, well, has somewhat of a gacha gameplay, or the gameplay that we are familiar with from gacha games like Genshin and WoWa, but it's not really a gacha game. It could have another like monetization system, if you know what I mean.
y'all are gonna sit on Twitter and shove your fingers down your throats like damn bulimics to throw up your dog shit about how NTE copied WoWa, then you gotta sit there and shove the fact that WoWa copied Genshin too back down your throats. And this leads me to my last point for this video. Games copy from each other all the fucking...
Open world fatigue? Oh, I think that was it. I think that was it, but I didn't post the video. It was the one I reacted to Smack, to Gacha Smack, but I didn't post it. I was going to, but I was like, it's a reaction to a reaction. I don't think it's worth it.
Time, man. When id Software first made Wolfenstein, and more importantly Doom, they helped popularize the first-person shooter genre, and other studios and companies around them at the time saw the critical success of Doom and worked to cash in on it by making their own versions of it, which is how we got games that are known as Doom clones. When World of Warcraft came out, it also massively popularized the MMO genre to the point where other devs started making their own MMOs and people started calling them WoW.
Not just swapping characters. You can't create a genre by adding like one small thing, you know? It's a conjunction of things. Just literally a conjunction of things. Of gameplay systems that at their core work the same.
WoW killers, just like how dumb shit gacha creators call the next big gacha game the Genshin killer like twice a year or something. And gacha games are literally no different. Genshin Impact is the Doom or the WoW of gacha. They helped massively popularize the gacha genre to the point where now there are other big production, high quality gacha games out there on the market that people can play as an alternative to Genshin. And both NTE and WoWa are two such examples of this phenomenon. So if people generally don't have a problem with these other Genshin clones, as I called them before, existing, if players as a whole aren't out here boycotting the...
WoW has never had a successful killer, and there's a good reason for it. And here's the thing. Fandoms like to hype things up too much by saying like, oh, this game is going to kill this game. That has never in the history of gaming ever happened. Like, ever. No game can kill another game. That's literally impossible. The only reason a game dies is because the developers have fucked up and they killed the game. Not another game that's different arriving, killing like the other game that is also different, but it's somewhat similar. That never happens.
Existence of other big gacha games that were very clearly developed to cash in on the generational success of Genshin Impact, you have to wonder, why the fuck are there retards on social media?
But OG, like, the old RuneScape, I mean, they... yes, old school RuneScape is more popular than the quote-unquote new RuneScape. Yes.
Yeah, complaining about a single character in a gacha that they think copied a character from another one. Don't answer that, by the way, because I kind of already answered that question. It's because they're fucking retards. But for those of you who are not as brain dead as they are, the main takeaway of this video is this.
I just want to let people know that I'm on Tuhu's side on this one, at least. I don't know about everything else. On this one, I'm on his side. I don't really watch his content, so I don't know what he's about, but...
This. A gacha game copying a character from another gacha.
He sounds pretty based. He has a Doro, like, he has a Doro chair cover.
Nothing burger. It's as dumb as...
So I instantly like him.
So many other things that rats and even just gacha creators in general love to farm react content off of every other fucking week. Like the lack of content issue in Enfield or bad character designs in Zenless Zone Z.
Actual question, is this even allowed in the EU though? Like, if this gets reported, can they make Hoyo be unable to set in EU unless they change the designs or something? Why? Why would they want to change this design? It's fine. What? What's wrong with the design? She's like fully covered. Fuck, you mean they ask if it is allowed in the EU? They're not like lollies. I mean, it's just Twitter people being fucking retards. It is what it is. Twitter is just full of these self-inserting. They are full of these projecting motherfuckers that project every little insecurity and every thought they have onto other people. So, for example, imagine I come out here and I say, well, I like the character Rossi in Arknight's Enfield, which I do. I think her design is very cool. I really think that she's very cute, for example. Nothing wrong with that. But Twitter freaks, since they are freaks, and every time they see a child, they think of sex. Every time they see a child, they think of like sexual intercourse and rape. They project that onto you and call you a rapist and a pedophile. That's how these people work. by projecting what they think and their beliefs onto other people to make it seem that they are the normal ones. But they are not.
Zero. Hell, I'm gonna be straight up here. NTE could go out there and copy Wuwa's entire roster. Like, literally, carbon copy all of them and shove them into their own game. Like, fuck Tencent, all my homies hate Tencent, no wonder Hata Studio switched over the Perfect World as their publisher, and I'd still play NTE, because the game itself is still different enough from Wuwa for me to keep playing. And just in case this needs to be said out loud, and because unlike the Wuwa cucks who can never see both ways, have them try and cross a road and see how many of them get isekai.
Pragmata got drowned because people are weird. People are just projecting. Like, a normal, grown-up fucking man is going to look at the kid in Pragmata and is going to think like, oh, a daughter. No one is going to think about anything else other than these Twitter freaks. It's going to be like, oh, she's so cute, I want to protect her. But these Twitter freaks just think about only that.
I'll say the same thing in reverse. If Wuwa copies NTE characters and puts them in their own game, I'd still play Wuwa too. Hey, gimme Daffodil in Wuwa. I fucking dare you, Kuro. Gacha games are, for the most part, never defined by a single thing that they do. The one exception is like how their gacha model works, as in like how generous the games are, what the rates are to pull 5 stars, etc. But as long as not that or some other major...
I think I personally couldn't care less about the gacha system. I mean, if push comes to shove, I'll talk about it. And well, I'll give my opinion on it, obviously, but I couldn't care less. Like, honest to God, I couldn't care less about the gacha system. Like, they're all dog shit. They're just, like, some are just less dog shit than others.
Issue that affects the entire game, gachas cannot be judged by a single isolated element, such as a character, or even worse in this case, a specific animation or two.
Here's the thing, they have. They actually have. Well, not NTE specifically, but their other game, which is Tower of Fantasy. They have. That's the funniest thing. They have copied works from these developers. From Hata Studio. They have copied work from Hata Studio. So, yeah. I mean, the bike... But there's other stuff. There's other stuff that I reacted to. Right here. Where is it? Here. So we have this one. But we have the Butterfly, Tower of Fantasy, and Wuthering Waves. I mean, isn't that a copy? And this, I think it's the most egregious one, which is the heavy attack for this character and this character. Which is the Phoenix upwards attack. Look at that. You guys see that? Do I need to put it in slow motion? Let me see. 25.25. Robot will say otherwise. Look at this. I mean, could you say that Wuwa copied? Yes, you could. Am I going to stay to be here and like try to shut down Wuthering Waves because they have a similar attack or a copy-pasted attack? No, hell no. copy away. I couldn't care less. If the game is good, I will play it, even if it is a copy or not. I couldn't care less. So, yeah, but when they say that something is a copy and then they have that, I mean, it's funny as fuck.
That they have. Because that would ignore everything else that those gacha games do. From their gameplay to side content like minigames and character interactability. NTE...
I mean, the thing about TOF was the publisher, because the publisher for the Chinese version and the global version was not the same. And the publisher actually fucked up the game so hard that, well, they are not now they are not the publisher anymore. They gave the game away to Perfect World again, and we're like, yeah, the game was already fucked by then. So it was kind of sad.
Is not the same gacha as Wu.
They also had the, oh, this is going to be the Genshin killer thing about them, which didn't help. And they didn't try to tone that Genshin killer reputation down. So it kept spiraling out of control. Wu never copied to have Dev used time machine to go to the future, saw Shang-Li. True. True.
So like I said before, even in a scenario where Hata flips off Tencent and Kuro and just straight up rips off every single Wuwa character, I would still play their game. Because Wuwa characters in NTE is still a different experience than Wuwa characters in Wuwa. As in, how would Wuwa characters play with NTE's combat mechanics? What kinds of Bon 10 outfits would they have? And wouldn't it...
Imagine they do a collab and they have, like, I don't know, Yang in NTE and and I don't know who's Zanko in Wuthering Waves, whatever. We're going to see, like, oh, this character looks a lot like Yang, bro. Is NTE copying Yang? Imagine that.
It'd be nice if you could hold hands with your favorite
Yang with a Bond 10 outfit. Imagine that, bro.
Wuwa waifu. And again, like before, the reverse also holds true. Let's see those NTE characters doing Wuwa shit. Put my Daffodil in Wuwa as another Havoc Bane character, because God knows we need more of them for End State Matrix. But unfortunately for the rest of us, no.
Yeah, as
because
a collab,
the rats are no better than AI bots skinwalking around.
I mean, that's how you end the tribalism. That's literally how you end the tribalism. All that Wuwa needs to do, all that Kuro needs to do, or Genshin needs to do, or Hoyoverse, whatever, and Hota. Imagine I'm Hota. I'm just like, I call up, like, Kuro Games Studio, like, beep, 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 beep. Moshi, Kuro desu ka? Hi. I want to make collab. Yes. Yeah, very much. Yeah, 2 characters? Okay, I agree. Sure, let's do it. And boom, tribalism is gone, bro. Tribalism disappears. Just have a just have a collab. It's gone. Like, oh, they copy this, they copy that, whatever. They're making a collab. They don't care, apparently. You know?
Around as human beings and rat
collab between games that fight for the same market is kind of redundant. No, it really isn't, though. I mean, yes, they are kind of the same market, but they don't compete like COD and Battlefield. They don't compete like Fortnite and what's the other game? Fuck, my memory sucks ass, bro. Bye. Yeah, see you later, Lapis. So yeah, PUBG. So Fortnite and PUBG, they don't compete like Dota and League of Legends. They don't compete like, I don't know, FIFA and PES, you know? They don't compete like that. They are like too different to compete like that on like a one-to-one scale. So it doesn't make sense to not have these collabs. They are different enough.
Creators are pretty much the same as all those dog shit AI slop channels that are taking over the site because YouTube is a fuck-ass retarded platform that won't...
Perlic on my Porsche driving it around. I mean, you kind of have that on Fortnite already.
...do shit about him, probably because it makes him money. Somehow, this whole situation, the whole Zonko copying Wuwa character shit, is a problem all of a sudden. Ironic, given how so many of these Wuwa cucks were blasting NTE back when it came out because of the whole AI thing that they were going through.
Yeah, everyone uses AI, but only NTE got, like...
calling the kettle black type shit. And I'm here to tell you that it's really not. It's just another thing that they can spread their ass cheeks over and take a fat steaming shit on for easy engagement bait on YouTube and Twitter. And to the rest of you, as always, stay vigilant and resist the rat propaganda. Every argument they try to make is pure...
As always, guys, stay critical and, well, bye-bye, as I used to say. But I think that's basically
bullshit.
it. Does he say
and can
anything
be dismantled
more?
So easily if you just sit down and think about it for a few seconds. And even if you can't find out why, well, that's why you watch me, because ain't nobody else out there who's as good at seeing through their bullshit as I am. Kind of comes with the territory of, you know, playing 20 different gacha games at once.
Hey, yo, what is that? The fuck is bro playing? What? Anyway, bro's kind of stroking his own ego here, but whatever.
When you know damn well that these fuckers can't even name more than 2 or 3 at a time.
I mean, he has the background to be able to talk, you know? He is the gacha gamer. You can make fun of it. Like, oh, you play like, oh, loser, play all these gacha games, have anime body pillows. But the thing is, he is the one that can talk shit about like these different gacha games and what's good and what's not, because he's probably the one that has the most experience with it, you know? It's like we are getting onto his hobby. You know? For example, me. If you ask me, like, I would consider myself a fucking tourist compared to this guy, obviously. It's not even close. Right? And if I'm a tourist, what does that make of something like Saint, you know? For example. So to his PC, can we open that amount of games? Is he playing at the same time?
Games at once when you know.
Oh, he's playing at once.
Damn well that these fuckers can't even name more than 2 or 3 at a time. Ask.
The last word in the glaive situation. What? I didn't watch this video, but let me see. What gacha games can I name? Actually, let's see what gacha games I can name. like non-ironically. Let me pull up the paint here. What gacha games can I name? Like, obviously, I can name the mainstream ones. Which would be... So, we got Nikkei. We got Genshin. HSR. We got ZZZ. Wuthering Waves. We got OG Arknights. We got Enfield. We got Girls Frontline. And this is kind of cheating because Girls Frontline 2. Right? Girls Frontline 2. We got Azur Lane. We got Brown Dust. Brown Dust 2. I'm not counting Brown Dust 1 because I don't even know what it looks like. So Azur Lane, Brown Dust 2, we got... God, I just mentioned the fucking game like a while ago. Like on this stream. So it's the Schoolgirls one. The Schoolgirls one. Which, bro, I forgot. I'm bad with names. But anyway, we got the Pokemon one. The Pokemon. Whatever the fuck that is. We got Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball. Bakudan or whatever the fuck. We got we got FGO. I mean, would we count Azure Promelia? No, right? Because they're not out. I'm not counting games that are out. I did talk about Battle Cats early on the stream. Battle Cats. God. There's that game that shut down, which I forgot the name, or is going to shut down. Which is the... Oh god, what's the name? I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting about the fucking the names. I know the games, but I forget the names. I know the games, but I forget the names. So the one that had the controversy about the fan service. Anyway, that's my list. That's my list. That's what I can come up with. That's what I can come up with without checking the chat. So I wouldn't count Genshin, HSR, ZZZ, Wuthering Waves, Enfield, because even OG Arknights, because those are just like, everyone knows those, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could name 9 other than the big gachas. Let's see. Snowbreak. Yes. I forgot about that. What else? Black Beacon. It's another one. Stellar Sora. Stellar Sora is another one, right? I didn't see anyone say Stellar Sora, but it just came to mind. Infinity Nikkei, yeah. Lads, it's another one. Are you counting dead games? Or, well, I would count soon to be dead games, you know? Let's put this out. So, am I a LARPer? am I considered a LARPer? Uma Musume. How the fuck could I forget Uma Musume? I played Uma Musume, bro. I spent money in Uma Musume. I literally spent money in Uma Musume, bro. Here's my 18 views stream from 1 year ago. He's just listening to horse girls singing. The horse that won gets center stage, and we just get a concert after. Yeah, this was me experiencing the game for the first time. I've never played the game before or seen anything about the game. This was literally day one, I think. But anyway, I think that's pretty good for today. I think I'll be ending the stream. Yeah, I'll be ending the stream. Let me just check something here. Is anyone streaming for me to raid? Because I learned that you can actually raid people. You can actually raid people on YouTube. I learned it yesterday. Also, don't forget to like the live stream. So, redirect. Let's see. Is anyone... Imagine raiding Tenma. Tenma is live stream. Imagine raiding Tenma, bro. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Let me see who's streaming Enfield right now. I am streaming Enfield. What's this? What's this? This guy. Old dude streaming Enfield, bro. He's playing on thing. So I'm going to raid him. Have fun, guys. Have fun. Have fun. And see you guys next time. Thank you everyone that showed up. Thank you Glenn. Thank you Rico. Thank you Zal. Delay Bad. Shami was here. Singato was here. A lot of people was here. Lord Plasma. Soul Gamer. Where the fuck is Adol, that fucking LARPer? Rico was here, Glenn, and everyone else. And even Egg was here. Oh, you're still here, bro. You're still here. What the fuck you doing here? Judging me? You're planning a video or something? I see you. Anyway, see you guys next time.